Hey everybody, welcome back to the homestead. My name is Emily. I'm out here with my oldest kid and we are going to get potatoes into the ground finally. I'll show you what I did last night to prep this area a bit. Last night I trenched 3 rows in this newly tilled area. I wasn't sure how it was going to go. There's a new tool that I was using and we might use it again today because I'm not sure how much space we need to plant all the potatoes. We've got red Pontiac and russet potatoes that I chitted way too long ago. I really should have had these in the ground already, but the tilling kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed because of the weather. So some of these are a little bit moldy, but hopefully they'll be okay. We're gonna plant them anyway. This area that I trenched is enough space for these potatoes, I'm sure, but we also have some potatoes in the basement. There were like a few left over from last year that we didn't eat before they started sprouting. And I mean, the sprouts of them are like huge. So we may or may not plant some of those. I think I'm going to try at least. We're going to start with these 3 rows, see how far we get, and we might end up doing another set of rows if we feel like we've got more potatoes for it. About a foot apart, and we got about to here with the russets, and then to here with the Pontiac red. So yeah, we got a lot of space left still, so we're gonna head to the basement, grab some more potatoes. We've got that little fence there to keep the dogs out because I've been using fish fertilizer on all of my plant starts, and you know, they want to knock everything over. But hopefully all of this stuff is going to get planted out very soon. They're kind of crazy, and I don't really know at this point which ones are
Make a wig.
Red, yellow, or russet. So if they grow, we'll find out when we dig them up. I mean, this is kind of insane. But we're gonna plant them and see what happens. Look at this one. It's terrible lighting over here, but it looks like it's already starting to grow a potato. That's crazy. Obviously, we did not have the right storage conditions over here. These didn't even make it to the pantry challenge. So, that was in January, if you weren't watching then. We're gonna give this a shot. I need to do something with the rest of these onions too, and I've just been putting it off, and if I don't do it soon, they're all gonna turn to mush or have too much stuff in the middle going on that we won't be able to use them. So yeah, next rainy day project, I guess. I got this, I think it's called a high wheel cultivator from a friend who's getting rid of it. But I put this attachment on it. I may or may not be using this correctly, but what I did last night, and I'm going to do again today, is push it down the row a couple of times to get a trench mostly dug out, and then use one of the hose to pull the rest of the dirt out. I trenched 2 rows, but the second row, oh, you're putting these a lot closer together this time.
Oh.
You're putting them like 6 inches together. I already covered up a bunch of them. So did you. Well, that would be why we ran out of them so fast. Alright, well, let's spread out the ones that are still uncovered. Maybe it'll at least finish out this row here. So we're about here where this little stick is, down to the end on the second trench here. The oldest kid is bringing the hose over to water these really well. And then we're going to need to go get some hay to throw over these to mulch them. And I have my dog decided she's going to come in here and sit right on top of the potatoes. River, this is not where you're supposed to be. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do now with this row. So I was making them about 4 feet wide with a 3-foot walkway or 2-foot walkway. I can't remember what I measured. I think it's more like 2 feet. But this row only has the 2 trenches, and one of them is maybe a third of the way empty. Maybe it's a quarter. Oh shoot. They turned it on without putting the nozzle on it. Nozzle now attached. Really soak them in, okay? So, as I was saying, this second section is only 2 trenches wide, and the other one is 3 trenches wide. So I'm not sure if I'm just gonna make this a small bed and then move on to the next pathway and bed, or if I should plant something in this bed next to the potatoes. So I'm gonna look that up in a little bit, but we're definitely gonna go in and take a break after we get this watered before we go get the hay, because it's really hot and humid today, which is a surprise. I mean, we had a frost a couple nights ago. This weather's wacky. I'm back out here after dinner with all 3 kids. The youngest and I are going to start planting some beans. I've got this gigantic bulk bag, way too much, but I'm going to plant a lot of them because I want to get an entire year's worth of canned green beans so we can have them whenever we want and not just use them sparingly. Of Blue Lake bush beans is what I got. The older 2 are off collecting hay, and they've already put a little bit on the potatoes. They're standing right in front of what I'm trying to show them. Potatoes, hay. And where we stopped with the potatoes before, we're going to finish off that row with beans, put an additional row of beans next to that, and then make the next bed, the next pathway in the next bed, with more beans in the next bed. Well, I haven't planted all of the beans that I want to plant, but we're also running out of daylight. So the little one who finally came back out is watering down all the hay, and then she's supposed to water where we planted all the beans. And the oldest and I are going to put up an electric fence that I got to go around this area to keep the deer out, because the deer have been in the garden. Let me show you real quick. They have chomped on this kale plant. No big loss, it was going to seed anyway. But then they've also topped off some of my peas. So yeah, I want to get this fence up tonight. We ran out of daylight and battery power on my camera last night, so we did end up getting this fence put up. It's not perfect, but it's also gonna need to be taken down and put back up again, because I wanted to put landscape fabric underneath of this so that it won't ground out. I won't have to keep weed eating around it. My weed eater is one that has to be plugged in, and so far we haven't upgraded to a gas or battery powered one, which we would like to do soon. Just haven't found one yet. But definitely there's some grounding out going on. It's only hitting at like 3,000 volts, and it can hit a lot higher than that, I think. But the solar power, the fence appear to work. I tested them last night after I got it all put up with the help of my oldest child. We were on the struggle bus with this thing. It was so tangled up, and of course we were losing daylight. Sorry, I'm swatting at mosquitoes. It's been raining overnight and all morning. It just happened to be taking a break right now when I came out to take care of the chickens and the cat, thankfully. So since it was raining so much, I'm not going to be addressing any of the lawn maintenance that needs to go on around this. The grass really should have been cut first and put the landscape fabric down. The landscape fabric is coming today, and honestly, if I hadn't noticed that the deer had bit the tops off of some of my pea plants, I would have just waited until the landscape fabric got here and then put that down and then put the fence up and then not have to move it at all. But since I did notice that the deer are eating my peas, I wanted to prevent them doing any more of that the best that I could. The fence is still up. Looks like the deer have not knocked it over. So either they didn't come last night or they came and then left. Let me show you what it looks like right now. Starting right here next to the barn. And there's some taller weeds right here that are probably grounding it out a bit. Got the solar energizer and the grounding rod. And then I can make that corner a little tighter. We didn't get that fiberglass post in very deep last night, but we were battling the mosquitoes and the darkness. It's going all the way around. Now over there at that corner, I'm not going to walk all the way over there right now, but way over there, really tall grass and weeds, and so I kind of made it come in a little bit, and there's an opening. Now, I was going to that corner where there's a fence there, and it goes all the way down to where the chickens are at. The plan is to put deer netting across that, and then also work on doing that in the orchard. So right now the garden is not fully protected. It's protected by this fence, there's a small section of that bird netting we put up that's still up. There's some of it that just wouldn't stay up. And so I think we're just going to rip that down and put deer fencing on that section as well, because it looks like bird netting, but it's thicker, a little heavier duty, and the wind just keeps ripping that bird netting down. So yeah, the garden is only protected halfway, but it's protected from the side the deer usually come from. So it's a start. It's a start. Thank you so much for hanging out with me yesterday and the kids. It was nice to have all the kids out helping, at least for a little bit. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.